I surprised my boys this afternoon. For lunch, I made okpa. Since this year, we've not had okpa, and trust me, they were very excited when I told them on the way back from school that I made okpa. This is the last set of my okpa flour. I got it the last time I came to Nigeria. I got half bag actually. My family will love okpa so much. I made a detailed video on the preparation of this my okpa in case anyone is struggling with making okpa. Just hang around, watch this video to the end, and pick one or two things to add to the ones you know. I start by sieving the okpa flour. I have this fine net I use for the sieving. I got it from Nigeria. If you've not been sieving your okpa, next time you make okpa, just try and sieve it and you'll see a huge difference. This one gives it a very fine, smooth texture. Look at all that chaff. Look at all that chaff from just one sieving. So while we sieve, let's talk about okpa. Let's learn more about okpa. We're going to be learning from Nnanyukwu Gogo. Okpa is commonly called Bambara nut pudding, Bambara bean cake, or steamed Bambara nut meal in English. Okpa is a traditional food from southeastern Nigeria, especially associated with the people of Enugu State and other Igbo-speaking areas. Okpa has been eaten for generations in Igbo communities. It originated in the southeastern part of Nigeria, where Bambara groundnuts were cultivated as important source of protein. The beans are dried, milled into flour, mixed with palm oil, water, pepper, and seasoning, then wrapped in traditional, well, that's all what I want to show you now. One of the most difficult parts of making okpa, aside the sieving, is actually the mixing. You have to mix the palm oil and the flour really well with warm water until you get that smooth paste-like texture. That texture is what gives you a very good okpa. If you don't mix it properly, the oil might not blend well with the flour and the texture might not come out as it should. So this stage is actually very important. Now I'm watching videos where I see people using food processor for this part instead of mixing by hand. It got me curious. So in this video, I'm going to try both methods. I'll use my food processor to mix one half and then I'll use my hand to mix the other half. In this life, you learn every day. And speaking of learning, let me tell you how I learned how to make okpa. I learned it from my mom. She told me that when she went to Nsukka for her master's degree program in UNN, she tasted okpa and immediately fell in love with it. She was so curious about it, how it's made, that she started asking questions from the women who sold it. According to her, one of the indigenous ladies she became friendly with agreed to teach her. The lady took her to their house where her mom was preparing okpa for sale. My mom watched the entire process and learned all the steps. She brought that knowledge back home with her. So when she got home, of course, she started making it for us. I was always there, watching her, observing the process, helping here and there. And before I knew it, I had learned to make it very well. This was around my secondary school days. And I've been making very lovely okpa ever since. That's really how I learned how to make okpa. So one thing I've learned from this story is that whenever you find yourself in a new place, try to learn something from the environment. Pick up a skill, a recipe, a culture, a lesson, even a different way of doing things. Don't ever go somewhere and leave without taking something valuable from the experience. So back to the okpa. I've been mixing this one with my hands, and like I said earlier, this is actually the most difficult part of the whole process. Now take a look at the texture of the one I mixed by hand and the one the food processor mixed for us. To be honest, there's no much difference. Use my hand play now. Use my hand play. This is the messy part of the job, so I'll spare you the details. So I've managed to remove all the bits that are sticking to the food processor because my people, nothing must waste in this economy. And I've added little warm water to get this consistency, the one you're seeing now. Now when it comes to okpa really doesn't need much. I always say this, beans is naturally sweet, so you don't need plenty ingredients to make it taste good. For this recipe, I've added my red oil already, warm water, so we need salt, pepper, oziza seed. So I mixed the oziza seed with water so I could strain out the sand and the chaff. What I need is the flavor, not that extra bit. And honestly, that's pretty much all you need for a good okpa. While all the mixing and stirring is going on, I already have my water on fire, boiling and ready. And let me tell you why this step is very important when making okpa. As soon as you finish mixing and you've added all your ingredients to your desired taste, the next thing is to start tying immediately. And while you're tying, you should be dropping the okpa straight into hot boiling water, not warm, not almost boiling. The reason is very simple. Okpa settles very fast if you don't drop it straight into hot boiling water and you allow it to sit, or you start putting it into the water that is still heating up. By the time the water finally reaches boiling point, the mixture would have already settled. And when this happens, texture changes completely. The bottom part will become too hard and dense, while the top will be overly soft. And honestly, that kind of texture will spoil the whole enjoyment of it. So to get that soft, smooth, and evenly cooked okpa, you need that immediate heat from boiling water. That way, everything cooks evenly at the same time and you get the perfect result all through. Lunch is ready and someone is already dancing. These children had food done and next thing, they didn't even remember to change out of their school uniforms. They just washed their hands and joined me as we unveiled the first set. Honestly, we all stood there and started eating everything fresh. My second son especially enjoys okpa so much. I don't know how to explain it. He just loves it. It's one of those food he can never get tired of. In fact, I bet you by tomorrow morning or give it Sunday morning, this okpa will have finished. This okpa is banging. Just look at the color, check out the texture. Everything is just on point and the taste honestly heavenly. It's really just a simple process of making okpa, nothing too complicated. Once you get your mixing right, your ingredients balanced, and that boiling water step correct, you're good to go. So I hope you learned a thing or two from this little cooking process of mine. Thank you so much for watching and see you in my next video. Bye.